Hi, everybody. So, I'm making a little introduction to this live chakra removal session. This is a session that I did with Allison, and she was open-minded to sharing it with the world. And if you're interested in chakra removal, this is going to give you a really good feel for what a session with me, a chakra removal session with me, is like. I will go into your spiritual atmosphere, and what the goal of the work is to break down old energy structures and to bring out your most lightest divine essence. And when that light essence is at the surface, you're going to feel totally transformed. You're going to notice your life has a different energy balance, a different fluid of motion. It's going to feel a lot higher frequency. It's going to open you up, expand you out a lot. It's going to open up your heart portal a lot. It's going to make you just feel awesome. So also this is going to give you an idea of what a live session is like. So when I do live distance spiritual healing, it's really no different than if I'm channeling a video for YouTube or if I'm doing a private recorded session. I just sit down and I keep my eyes closed for most of the time as my consciousness is traversing your spiritual atmosphere, and my spirit guides and higher self and your spirit guides and higher self are directing the work. So they're helping me to gravitate into those areas that I need to go in order to accomplish the greater goal. So in this case would be chakra removal. It's kind of neat because Allison's chakra removal session, it goes into really dense layers, which I experienced with chakra removal. It breaks down the old shells and then it rebirths your essence, so you're feeling renewed. You're feeling like a new form. But hers was a little bit different because usually it's very light frequency that I'm pulling out, and it just feels like so high frequency is so light. Her light body frequency, it actually felt so solid, so grounded, so secure. It was really unique to feel that. And it's awesome because every soul is different. So when I do a chakra removal for Allison, or if I do a chakra removal session for you, there's no two chakra removal sessions that are ever going to be the same. So if you're going to a psychic to get a chakra removal session and they're going to do it the same for you as they would do it for everybody else, like a textbook, there's something about the diversity, and there's something about the uniqueness of every soul and the uniqueness of our DNA strands. Even we might be human, but we are all different. And so I like to honor that. I like to explore your uniqueness. And so when I do chakra removal, I do everybody different. And I just let your higher self, your spirit guides, my higher self and spirit guides, heaven, angels, direct the final outcome, which is the greatest gift I could give to your soul and your soul journey. So I just want to do a little mini introduction. If you're interested in a chakra removal session or any psychic service, please visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. So I'm going to go ahead and play the video. Thank you for watching. All right. It's really quick, but I also like to just say I'm connected with my higher self, my spirit guides, connected with your higher self and your spirit guides, connected with angels. I feel like there's a lot of quick motion of energy, really positive energy. I'm going to go ahead and relax and get acclimated to it so I can start describing it. It makes my heart beat. I feel like even a heart palpitation in a good way, like really excited, a really intense, like adrenaline burst of energy in my heart. And it's very exciting, and it has a very like hot energy to it. Like it feels like hot going through my blood even, but it's very exciting. It's nothing overwhelming. Usually the first thing I experience is some sort of imbalance, but this is a start of a really positive message. A lot of energy activity, and it's really like hot and excited and full of adrenaline. As I feel that energy, it's all starting to relax and slow down a little bit. I don't know why, but I really like your spiritual atmosphere. We'll find out more. It's creative in here. There's your spiritual atmosphere, they show me, it's just sort of like an Easter egg, and you open up, but instead of it just being like, well, there's one toy or one prize on the inside, it's like compartments. There's really interesting different compartments inside this Easter egg that is you. And where do we even begin with all of this? There's a lot of creativity in here. It's kind of like, it feels organized, but it also feels like I don't know where to begin to even access all that I am, because you are so much. Where would we even begin? That's kind of how it feels right now. There's an odd sort of like I don't know, a clear white. It's clear, but it also has a whitishness about it that goes around what is a yellow Easter egg. But the Easter egg, it's also open up on one level so I can see into it, and there's just all these little pockets. It's like you could imagine an old mailroom or something. It has little windows, or you put this mail is for this person, this mail for this person. There's like lots of little different compartments where stuff goes into. He's starting to get more and more puzzled, more complicated, more intricate. It's starting to feel like there's millions of these. I mean, I can work with 5. I might be able to work with 10, but million, I am just one person. Too much. So it's like, where do we even start here? And I'm starting to see that now that we're more than just 5, we're more than just 10, we're a million. It's like some of these compartments don't have any mail in them. Is the mail like psychic messages or something? They aren't telling me, but there's letters here, there's letters here, there's letters here. But in all of these, like 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, like lots of pockets don't have any letters in them. But we're like really open. We're really open. We want more mail. We want more interactions. But at the same time, how do we keep up with it all? I'm just one person, maybe 5, maybe 10. But yet I want to have a million. So there's like a little bit of confusion in all of this. But it's also a very positive message too. So we're just going to continue to work through this layer and see where it takes us. Okay, there's a very wise old man energy. There's a definitely masculine old man essence about him. It's a little hard to make him out. He's not quite clear yet. That's for a reason. They can be clear if they want to be clear, but he doesn't want to be clear, fully clear just yet. But he's smiling, and he's sort of in an odd gray mist. What is he wearing? I can't decide if it's some sort of long actual like putting it on the Ritz kind of thing, but it's blue, navy blue, and it goes way too long, like down to his knees. His suit coat does. Is his torso kind of off? Like his legs are too short for his torso. I can't decide. He's very peculiar, that's for sure. There's something about his face that kind of reminds me of the Monopoly man, but he wears really big black-rimmed glasses. He shows me the Monopoly car as well. It's really long. It's what it looks like that he's driving. But he's very peculiar, and he's always kind of unclear or grayed out, but he's got a positive beat about him. So we're just going to continue to allow this to unravel. As this is allowing to unravel, I see what is the threads of like a big bundle of yarn, and we're pulling it out, but there's a knot here. It's somehow stuck on something, and I feel like I'm moving downward in frequency, which is normal. It usually gets more dense in a chakra removal session, so we just allow that density to happen, and I'm just trying to get through some sort of knot here. Something is stuck in the yarn. It's not just pulling out like it should. Something is stuck, and it's a rainbow colored bundle of yarn. I like this guy, whoever this guy is. He feels like a spirit guide or something like that. He likes to be spirit guides usually is like they seem put together, they seem wise, they're wearing the right clothes or something to be a spirit guide, and he likes to be not wearing what you would expect, look like you wouldn't expect, to be like you wouldn't expect. He likes to be random and unpredictable. He doesn't want you to be able to figure him out kind of thing. He wants to kind of have a shock effect even about him, but he also doesn't need you to have a shock effect. He doesn't care. It's just his personality or his style. That's just the way he is. But he feels like kind of like a spirit guide. He even shows me that he could wear, he does not care to such a degree, but the shock effect thing, he knows it creates shock effect, but it's not for shock effect. He shows me creating an outfit out of cardboard boxes and wearing it and pretending to be a robot. But it's really childlike and kind of silly and fun because he has all these like cardboard boxes on his body and he's walking around and he's an old guy. He's like the Monopoly man and being really silly. But we're still going on an elevator that is going downward. I want to see the stars. I want to see the vastness. I see that as I go downward, I feel like I'm looking further out into the stars to find myself. So in a way, as I go downward, I feel further away from where I want to be. But in that way, I accept that going downward is where I'm going to actually find myself. It's interesting because it's almost like soul journey, like to have a soul experience on another planet, for instance. You discover yourself on another planet, but you find yourself longing to discover yourself differently. So you find yourself going downward and to discover yourself more, but yet it feels like a part of you left behind out there in the stars, or a memory, or who I truly am out there in the stars. There's a longing to rekindle that energy again. But your soul also knows the value of coming down into a different frequency or a lower frequency in order to discover the self in a new way. That's a really cool message about your soul too. It feels like you're pretty expanded. I mean, they show me like a nerve ending, but it has infinite numbers of connections. And so it's like a really extraordinary tree. They show me you as a really extraordinary tree with all these different connections, and then root system that go into the ground, all these different connections. But they show it to me as like dimensional connections, interdimensional connections. They show me this is even crazier. But what is, people don't think about dimensions beneath ours. People think about dimensions above ours because that's where the happiness lies. But you're so creative, you would say, you know what, I want to see what's down there. I want to go into other root systems because I know there's something extraordinary about that too. And I'm not here to judge. I'm here to just have experiences and then explore myself through those experiences. So it's really cool. That's like a really open-minded, cool thing about you. So Monopoly guy he's just a little small sort of icon on the screen of my, I don't know why, but it's like an icon on the screen. And he's just smiling at me. And then we're still kind of going downward, but I feel we're going into a lower root system. The lower roots, that's what it's like down here. And it's very much so showing me you as a tree, but also I'm inside of a tree. So it's kind of interconnected, the vision and everything. So I don't know why, your atmosphere gets me like really excited and pumped up. I feel just really like excited and bubbling and popping and brewing and motivated. I'm excited about something. I really do. I feel like I am a witch, like witchcraft. Minecraft, but I'm witchcraft, and I have a potion brew, and I've got something magic up my sleeve, and I'm concocting it right now, and I am so freaking excited about this. I'm like, I got ingredients in the pot, I'm stirring the pot, I don't even know where this is going, but I've got witchcraft going on here. I've got witchcraft, like this is what's like on about witchcraft. It's like so funny and so cool and so exciting and so spiritual and so magical and so random. It feels really good, and it's located in the roots. And it's right. It feels right. They also show me roots, not necessarily, it is, yes, about the feet or the roots of your body, but it's also the root of the spine as well, like showing me that the base of the spine kind of thing. Let's see where this goes. Energy is slowing down. I feel even like I myself am getting like heavier, denser. It's okay to slow down. They even say that because I myself get so excited, and when I get excited, it's just like, I can't even stop right now. So your spiritual atmosphere is like really like awesome like that. And I get this way, like you must get this way too, but they're telling you, not just me, but you too, it's okay to slow down. And that might just be in life as well. Like it's okay to slow life down too. You don't have to just like bubble pop and breathe, like awesome all the time, but there's something about slowing down because there's really extraordinary wisdom that is funneling into you, but you're just so popping and bubbly and like this. There's just some sort of activity that is creating. Once you clear it out, once you slow things down, it'll find you, and you will find it, and you will understand what the message is. It's an important message. So I'm just creating the experience of energetic clarity, which is just silence and slowing down, like meditation, Buddha style, Zen style. Just slow it on down. Silence. We just the volume down, even. Just turn the volume down. It's you time. It's you time. Gosh, like again, the echoes in your spiritual atmosphere, like me telling you this over and over, you are awesome. You are really special. You've got something to give, and it's really, really special. And it's time, and it's really time to discover yourself and be so freaking proud of yourself. Like there's just so much really positive echoes over and over and over again. This another positive echo, another positive echo, another positive echo. And so here I was like, how do I keep up with these positive echoes? I better get started telling you some of these things, so you can start telling them to yourself too, or feeling that, because you deserve it. You deserve to feel really, really good about yourself. I mean, you do. That is very loud and clear. Like you're a conqueror, but it feels like if you try to conquer a mountain, it would be easy for you. You would say it wasn't easy to conquer that mountain, but the rest of us are like, we're still trying, we're trying. But there's something like you could conquer a mountain. It was part of my life. It was just part of my journey. What next? I'm ready to do exciting stuff. Like, there's something about this, about conquering a mountain, but something feels simplified, or something feels like it would be easy for you, maybe not for us, but maybe you wouldn't define it as it was easy, but you have a good way of handling extreme situations. There's something about you that has a really balanced way of handling challenging experiences. And that's also coming through. Again, the root of all things. We got to get to the root of this. They continue to show me the roots of a tree, grounding, but they also show me the base of your spine. The base of your spine has like a red dot, and it kind of blinks sometimes. For the most part, it's just kind of turned red. But then sometimes it blinks a little bit like, hi, I'm here, but I'm kind of shy and timid. So I don't want to distract you or get your attention too much. But sometimes I could use a little attention. So I'll just blink a little bit. But then I'm just stay kind of, if I'm just stay red, then you don't really notice me changing or doing anything different. It's just acting that way for some reason. It's very strange. Does it want to be noticed? Does it want me to help it? Does it just want to be that? I think it needs something. Yeah. There's something else about this. It's going to take me a moment. I got to shift gears. I'm actually going to go into the heart of this base of your spine, because the red dot is actually, I keep thinking about transforming it into a heartbeat, where love needs to be stored, or transforming this part of your totality. The base of your spine actually can have its own consciousness with its own feelings and its own experiences and its own storage compartment for memories even, and its understanding of its identity and all that it is also a part of you. You're all working together as one, but this too, it's something valuable about this. So I'm just, again, slowing things down. When I slow things down, you actually can hear me tell you how wonderful you are for the first time. When I slow things down, you actually can hear me tell you you're a really amazing person. When I slow things down, you can actually hear really positive messages about how wonderful and how special and what a good person you are. But if we get wrapped up in all the intensity and all the bubbling and all the excitement and stuff, there's something about you need to actually just slow things down to hear and digest a gift, a verbal gift of how wonderful you are. I don't think you would ever say I would need to hear that, but I think you need to hear that. And just because you should hear that sometimes, but not just hear it, actually take that message in and be that for yourself, feel that within yourself, and know that about you in a way that you wouldn't like necessarily need to do that, but they really want you to have this more. I'm going to look at your space of your spine for a little bit, so I might be quiet here. When we slow down, we take the time to see everything. When we're going fast, we're going to miss really important details. If we go too fast, we might not see the flowers that were in bloom. If we go too fast, we might not notice the butterflies. If we go too fast, they show me standing here by the base of your spine with this red dot that's also a red heart. I'm starting to look around and I see I'm standing inside of an odd orb. It's kind of a yellowish color, yellowish green color. But it has the color kind of moves into as it goes towards me in the center, like a clear light gray, very light gray, but it's also clear. And then it turns into a white and then a blue, like around me. And then it's also around, obviously, this red heartbeat base of your spine image. I'm taking the time to examine, taking the time to look at this detail, taking the time to examine the base of the spine, taking the time. I'm walking through the heartbeat. I'm going into what would be a divine feminine space. I feel like there's some memories, like I don't know why, but lost. I don't know why I keep thinking of lost childhood or lost. I just see a beautiful, like a really cute baby picture, and just a photograph of a really cute baby picture that's in here. But I don't really know what to make of it. I just sit down for a moment and look at this. I don't know why it keeps saying lost childhood, but I gotta go with what I get, and I'm just gonna allow this to have a moment here. And you again, the special energy stuff coming through and the gifts that you can share because your heart is so full of love and you are really like a vibrating, deep vibrating, heartfelt, very loud sounding love machine of energy. And so it's a little in here, it feels like somber. It feels kind of, it feels different. It's not like, I don't know, is this kind of sad or it's just kind of silent right now? It's in deep thought or, but it's just in a state of silence. Not like purifying silence, but kind of like, I don't know what to say silence. So I'm just allowing it to be what it is. Over and over again, you are so beautiful. You are so wonderful. You're really special. You mean the world to me. You are the love of my life. You are my rainbow. You are my sun. You are the air that I breathe. You are my reason for being. I love you so much. These messages share over and over and over again. And I really want you to hear it, not just know it or, yeah, I know, but actually I want you to hear it. It's a very loving, it's just a very loving consciousness over and over, but it feels like a companion of yours, somebody that loves you very much. just really wanting to tell you that on a level that touches you deeply, in a sacred space that is holy and divine feminine, and it creates that a lightning bolt of energy that sparks your awakening, because you are like a feminine goddess and you need to see that, feel that, be that, radiate that, and that is who you are. And you need to hear that from divine masculine. I believe you do hear that from divine masculine, but your busybody, your high frequency, your loud exciting noises, like energy wise, like I gotta quiet that, so your consciousness in a divine space receives that energy nourishment, wisdom, and transforms from it, which is going to transform you in like a kundalini awakening type style. So I'm just going to continue to radiate this extraordinary message of love in this very sacred space, and continue to surround this space with this amazing energy, impacting the lower spine, impacting the balance of all dimensions, impacting the balance of your entire universe, and continuing to help you glow from inside out, because you really are a beautiful person. I'm allowing this seed to be planted here, and it's going to grow a beautiful garden. And the flowers here, the bumblebees, the birds, the butterflies, the living, the nature. It's like a total nature world. It's not just the flowers, but it's the insects and the animals and the sun and the moon and the stars and the wind and the earth and the soils and the earthworms and the water. Like it's a total like earth inside of your divine feminine womb, and it's full of positive messages echoing for all eternity about how beautiful you are, and how you are a divine feminine goddess, and I'm telling you, this is real stuff. And it's full of so much pure love energy. It's creating like a thickness to it, and it's wanting to grow and expand. It's warming that space more, but it's really wanting to activate something powerful, like a kundalini thing, spinal column activation. It's really wanting to do something on a really elite level. So I'm just continuing to allow this the seed to grow, seed to continue to grow. It's still growing here as I'm looking at the heart portal. It's really warm still in that space, but I am going to look at the heart portal for a moment. Heart portal is wanting me to visit it. So heart portal and divine feminine space, there's some sort of interlinking connection here. I'm examining this, what I feel about this balance. Obviously heart is love, but I don't know, it's sort of like there's something like heart needs to be heart, divine feminine needs to be divine feminine. They work in balance with each other. So I need to explore what this means to me. So I'm just going to take a moment here and examine this. Heart keeps saying, I want to be in divine feminine space. I want to be in that space. So I take a part of your heart and I place it in that space. I'm honoring the heart's conscious request, and I'll see what happens next. Your heart is still in your heart. There's just another version of it I'm placing in that space. They're saying, I am bringing a part of the love of all that you are into this very sacred space, so it can exist there as well. And it's creative, it's life-giving, it's active. It's something very intense, radiating love, and it's very beautiful. It's like a really special heavenly gift. Just allowing it to be so. Your heart has so much love to give. It tells me I would give a million versions of myself in order to heal that space, or in order to bring some sort of like a life force energy on another level into that space. Your heart says that to me. I love your heart so much. I'm like shocked that like everything about you is so beautiful. Like, what else could you possibly need? But there is request for expansion, definitely. I'm choosing to stop for a moment and I'm looking around. And again, there's an interesting like orb. This has got it's a clear orb, like a bubble, but it has a bluish essence to it. And it's right at the base of like at the top of the neck. And then it comes out just a sphere around the shoulders. And then it comes around and then it just sort of like right at the heart portal region. I don't know that it's necessarily participating with the emotional gut region, so I'm just going to continue to watch here and see what this is about. Speaking from the heart kind of thing. This orb is sort of creating a space for voice, communication, and heart at the same time. But why is it? What is this all about? Wow. Again, special energy. What messages? I love you so much. You are so beautiful. You are my swan. You are my companion. Like you are my ocean, my sunset, my most beautiful moments. You are the stars in the sky. You are creation itself. You are Mother Goddess. Like it's so many beautiful, beautiful messages that keep just flowing and flowing and flowing and flowing and flowing into your spiritual atmosphere faster, and there's more of them that I can keep up with in language. But as I'm examining this, it's just on and on and on and on. So many beautiful messages. Wow. All right, let's see what we can do here. I don't even know what to make of the way things are changing. Again, the beautiful messages are still flowing. That space, the seed is still planted, the garden is still growing. The base of the spine is feeling a little bit more appreciated, more loved. I'm feeling a little bit more of energy flow going on up and down the spine, up to even the head, above the head, but grounding sensations too. At the same time, I'm just sort of examining what is a change of the image. Still the orb, but I see you becoming what is sort of like, oh, like a crash test dummy. But I could crack you open from the side and then I could see what is in the two halves. So I see this becoming like an odd dummy version of you, and then but it feels like it's made out of a certain material that would be like a crash test dummy material. And then I'm just sort of opening you up. I see you from the side right now, and I'm just opening you up that way. I look at what is the tinkering of a very special toy, because this toy happens to be alive. It's not just a toy like a play toy. So if you damage this play toy, that's going to destroy it. That's going to hurt it. You don't want to damage this play toy. I feel like I'm telling this to a child, which I'm also talking to your inner consciousness. I'm telling the inner consciousness, this toy is so special. This toy is a living being. This toy has meaning and is so precious. This is the most precious gift that the world has ever seen. But it's really a powerful message of a mother speaking to its child and teaching the child about the value of human life, the value of creation, and talking about what is sacred and what is holy and what love is all about. It's a really powerful message. But this is also you. Treat you with care. Don't hurt you. Don't treat you like just a toy that you could toss away, but as somebody who has real feelings, as somebody who has a life force energy, as somebody who is sacred and special to this world. It's really like precious. It's actually very moving for me to feel this energy communication. It's very moving for me. Do you feel like, I'm just talking to your inner consciousness, I'm saying to your inner consciousness, do you feel like you're treated like a human being, or do you feel like you're treated like just a toy that could be thrown away someday? I'm going to see what your inner consciousness, how it responds to this question. There's a big question about this within you. You're deeply thinking. I see two versions of you. Your consciousness shows me you without a face, and then your consciousness shows me a crash test dummy that is a doll. And we're looking at both of them side by side. What your consciousness says, the crash test dummy, consciousness is like a child that doesn't want to speak. It just wants to point and hope that I understand. So it points at the crash test dummy and it tells me through its heart, not through language, that this is part of my soul. This crash test dummy, this toy that's thrown away, this is me. This also is me. This person without a face, this is also me. There's something really deep in the soul journey that it really needs nourishment here. So I'm like really moved, and I'm really just in awe. Like it's really a powerful message. It's sad as well because it's about something sad. Instantly, I noticed the crash test dummy doll. It's literally just 6 inches long, kind of thing. It doesn't even look like you. It has like crash test dummy, like what are tracks or like car tracks or something on a tire track. It bothers my hand, and I instantly like and I throw it on the ground, and I'm just like, ugh, get away from me, ugh, get away from me, ugh, I touched you, yuck. It's just like an awful, instantaneous, like just grossed out nightmare moment. I can't tolerate it. It's like freaking me out. I feel it too much. It's terrible. I'm going into this energy note here. I say to your consciousness, the little girl who doesn't speak, I say, who did this to you? And she picks up the doll and she says, Mommy did it to me. This is like an old lifetime. This is like a soul fragmenting experience. But this also feels like you would resonate with this even today. Like, no wonder you're such a full-on loving person. Your soul has had real trauma moments that you understand what it's like. I have to go into this, so I'm going to stop. I'm just going to tell you exactly as I see it. I got to go into this. I'm still going into this. I feel like I'm going into the knot of a tree that has a really horrible twisted knot in it. It's very awful, and it really hurts my hand a lot. Bothers me a lot. I don't want to go into this knot. This knot really bothers me. I don't want to see it. I don't want to believe it. I don't want to know about it. I want to participate in it. But my soul is gravitating toward it. It's a magnetic experience. There's no going back. The soul has to participate in it. It's part of what is the sequence of the learning, and the soul is like really resisting what is like going into what is going to be a very traumatizing lifetime. It's confusing because we all have a light side, we all have a dark side. So what is this about? Was your light side traumatized and sort of fragmented into being really hurt? Is this a part of your dark side of your soul? I don't know what this is about, but there's don't send me, I don't want to go, don't let me see it, I don't want to see it, don't take me there, I don't want to go there, I don't want to go there. It feels like two things. One, the soul is gravitating into the lifetime and is resisting with all its might. It knows what it's going to experience. It's terrified of the experience. It doesn't want to do it. But also, as I'm going into that night, I also feel the soul consciousness is like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to remember it. I don't want to know it is there. I don't want anything to do with it. Please don't show me. So there's a lot of extreme resistance here on different timelines. So I just have to allow it to be as it is, and this is very overwhelming. I tell your consciousness it's okay. You want to know that's seen some of the most jacked up stuff you could imagine. You're not alone. I take the hand of what is a little girl that doesn't speak, and I tell her you're not alone. I'm going to actually pick you up, and I'm going to carry you through this, okay? You don't even have to stand. I'm just going to pick you up and carry you. And we'll just go through this together, and it's going to be okay, all right? And I tell her that, you know what? There's some really terrifying things that happen in this world, but if you can find a way to somehow take a deep breath, know that the experience is over now, And all we have to do is just take a look at it one last time in order to see it objectively for what it is, without emotions, without rash judgment, with unconditional love, with deeper understanding. It helps everything heal, and it's going to help you grow, and it's going to heal the tree, the extraordinary tree that you are, and it's going to make you feel amazing. But again, I'm not going to make you do this alone. She shows me it's going to feel like her leg is being sawed off, and it's not like this is a civil war. That's how bad it is. She just really doesn't want to go there. Just allowing the energy to release out. It's really tucked deep into the heart, like a really, really deep knot in there. It's really jarring up. The energy field is really tense right now. There's a little distorted dizziness around the head region. Just bringing in energetic air. It's okay. I tell this little girl, you know what? What if all we saw was just a dark void? And all we had to do was look at the dark voids, and guess what? It's just a dark void. Nothing to worry about, nothing to fear, right? It's just a dark void. We're just gonna start here. It tells me it's not just a dark void. I see just it's like a, what do I want to make of this house? I'm going to stand in the ground here and look around. I guess you could call it a log cabin. It's made out of wood. It's weathered. This wooden table looks weathered as well. It looks used. It looks like it's been around. It's not particularly like a special carving. I feel like the scene of this space is more so about what the space feels like more than what it actually looked like. But it just feels kind of weathered and kind of rotted even. It even has kind of a wet wood type of essence to it, like it's just not treated very well. And the house that is treated like this is not going to have a solid foundation for much longer. It's going to fall apart, and it's just going to kind of blow away with the wind and become part of the earth again. So there's a table here that's sort of rotted and 2 wooden chairs. This little girl, she actually reminds me of, what is the little, everybody knows her. I can't think of her name right now, but she was a little girl that was sort of like kidnapped, and she was also like a model. She's like 9 years old or something, and super cute, super pretty, and it's still going on today. They're still trying to figure out who took this girl or murdered this girl, but it looks just like her. Cute little white dress, cute little blonde hair, beautiful radiant smile. She looks really off place in a world that is like kind of a rotted out house. It's dark and damp in here, and she's in a perfect white dress, and she's so adorable and cute, and she's just sitting there like a ghost, kind of a ghost essence. I'm just still looking around here. Everything starts to rot more, and the floor is very rotted out here. It's really gross soils. Like, I don't know how anything could grow here. It feels really rotted and old. The floorboards are rotting out, so I'm going to go down beneath the floorboards into the soil. We're just going to go down deep. I feel like it's giving me a rash on my face as I go down through the soils. It's a lot of blood down here. It's like pools of blood down here. They aren't telling me what happened. They're not telling me what the storyline is. They're just showing me the imbalance is old. It's got an old root. It's an old knot. It's weathered. It's rotted out. It's very uncomfortable. Your soul is overwhelmed by it. And anything that doesn't look good, doesn't feel good, it actually, extreme traumas can look like blood worlds, hell spaces. It can look really disturbing like that. So it just looks like kind of a hell space, but instead of like lava and fire, it's blood, pools of blood everywhere. It also is very disturbing because it feels like stabbing into what is the uterus of like a child, like over and over and over again. It's really wrong. Like, it's freaking wrong right now. God, the image of like the blood and everything, it's just really gruesome. I'm just going to allow it to continue to express itself. It has a right to just express itself as it is. Not being able to scream or being able to call for help because it's too traumatizing. So there's no sound that comes out. Your soul knew it was going to go into a lifetime of this kind before it actually entered into it, and your soul resisted it. Because your soul resisted it, that actually created an odd karma frequency because of fear. So even in the spirit state, your soul was afraid before it even entered into the lifetime. So there's something interesting about this. Because we're dealing with what was extreme fear and terror even before the lifetime happened. So there's something serious to heal here on the soul level and on just like a past life type of level too. It's on a timeline, soul timeline level. Very, very traumatizing event. What would be like a murder, and very wrong actions taken to a child. The child endures it, experiences it into death. Which is also the soul enduring and experiencing it. So how does the soul actually go into heaven after trauma? Child traumas and souls don't like, part of the soul is always going to go into heaven, but part of the soul is going to be stuck, still reliving the experience and trauma and not able to understand it. So now the soul goes on another timeline of trying to heal that specific event that happened. So how is a child supposed to make sense of terror like that? Children can't make sense of it. And the soul also, because the soul is a human, the soul feels human, it can't make sense of it either. So it stays stuck. It becomes like a little bead or a little memory in the soul timeline. So we're in what is a really awful, it looks like this, like I've described, it's really traumatizing, really terrible to a child version of yourself. And it's still a rotted flesh space. So we're just staying with it here. It's releasing some gross, stinky vapors, and we just stay with it here. This is why you are such an extraordinary person today, because your soul has really extreme lifetimes like this, and it teaches you about the value of love on a level that it's just unbelievable. Just still staying with it here. This little girl is starting to feel a little bit more active, but is still grogginess about it. She feels more positive, like she wants to move on from this. She feels like she's getting her voice back, but she's not speaking just yet. Because the energy, the stinky oldness, old rotted stinky stuff, it's like set a glass of milk out and smell it 10 days later, it stinks. Like this old rotted memory is stinky. So we just open up that nasty wound and we let all the stinkiness out, and we just continue to let that stuff out. It's really deep and it's old stuff, and your spirit, I mean, there's still stuff about the balance of it all. We're still climaxing into that. So just continue to allow it to circulate and move out the old, and we heal the old and we transform it into something beautiful. Okay, so there's something sharp sticking out of the ground. It's like wood. It kind of reminds me of the tree surface again, but it's something very sharp. You wouldn't want to accidentally hit your hand on that, because it'll just go straight through your hand. It's very sharp, and it feels like a big splintered piece of wood sticking straight out of what was the space. The blood's drying up here, but this is still not healthy looking yet. So we just continue to share love with it and patience, and just continue to look at it objectively and allow it to have its messages and to just release it in that way. So just continue to watch here. More of like an awful sore underneath the surface of this. What is this now? It's very disorienting. This odd stick of wood and the dried up blood, it looks like a wood surface of a floor, but a sharp, splintery edge. But the floor wood is just opening up or evaporating or whatever. Underneath it, it's sort of like an odd sack with the movement of body, like moving elbows, moving head, moving body underneath this. It's in the soil, so it's dirty. There's like a baby inside. I feel sad about this. I just feel really sad about this. The baby is suffocating. It can't breathe. The baby is struggling for the last bits of its life. It feels its arms and its legs kicking and moving, and it's just confused because it feels itself withering away because it can't breathe. It's not going to last much longer. It's very sad. The child is dying. It kind of reminds me of what would be olden days, how many children died at birth. It feels like you could say the water didn't break or something of this kind, or somehow the baby suffocated before it could come out of the womb. So there's something really, very sad about this. The baby wants to live. The baby is trying to survive. But it's not meant to be. Spirit said it was never meant to be. It wasn't meant to be born. It was meant to have exactly that experience, exactly like that. I know it looks sad. I know what it looks like. But this was actually for the betterment of the soul and a beautiful gift of development and understanding about life and death and birth and creation and all of that. It actually, as hard as it is to look at, is also a reflection of love too. And it's okay. It's time some part of your consciousness needed to see this. So this part of your consciousness is coming to terms or to acceptance of this. So we're just allowing it to happen. That part of your consciousness comes and scoops up what is like still a baby in a sack, and holds the baby close to the heart. And it kisses the baby's head while it's kind of soily in a sack. And it says, I know you were not meant to be born. I love you for all that you are. And thank you for being a part of my life, even if it was only for this long. And it's like a man, actually. It feels more like a man than a woman, oddly enough. But the man goes and has a little burial, a little grave for this, and places it in the grave to show this unborn baby how much it was loved, even if it wasn't born. And he covers the baby in soil, and it has a proper burial. Something feels better about this. Something feels like it's okay now. Sometimes life can feel very sad and very confusing, and life can feel like it's not what I wanted it to be. But it's okay to be able to feel what is loss or feel what is sorrow. The soul wants to know what those feelings feel like. In order to have feelings of those kinds, we have to have sad experiences. And through sad experiences, now we can appreciate the joyful ones that much more. And they say when there's one child lost, there is another child's gained, kind of thing. But they show me the loss of this child now is transformed into many smiling children faces. That's what it's like right now. I feel like that child still means something to me. But these smiling faces also mean something to me. But I feel okay. I feel more okay about it. There's still something lingering, so I'm just gonna relax and just see what happens next. In the process, I'm looking at all the cores of all of your energy bodies, which is all your chakra bodies, which is exactly what we're doing here. We're creating a new structural identity for you. So they're starting to soften what was and transform into something totally reborn and refreshed, renewed, the light essence of yourself. So I just see like shells, energy bodies falling away, so you can be reborn with a new divine chakra essence. It's still in the process because I still feel some energy stuff that's not quite fully complete yet. I'm still with a man who buried the child, but all the smiling faces that are near the gravesite. I still see your heart, though. It looks like it's blinking. I'm looking at the lower spine, the divine feminine space. I'm looking at all these places here. I'm going to slow it all way down. We just got to slow things way down. All that stuff is just starting to disappear because it doesn't need to be looked at anymore. It feels like those parts have had their voice and have their time. They feel at peace now. And I see what is you, like eggshell after eggshell after eggshell that's just fallen off. You could also see it as a flower blooming or flower petals opening up. It's kind of neat because I see a version of you, though you're in like the thinking man's statue position. But there's something kind of charged about the way you look, like you just kind of burnt up. So I'm just looking at this here. And I take my finger and to touch you, but I touch it through layers of ash. All the ash falls to the ground, and I see you. And what do you look like? You look different. You look very different. Oh, you have big blue eyes, but there's something about really white blonde hair. Your skin is like brand new skin. It's like you were just reborn from an egg. I can't tell if you're male or female because there's something about the hair is really short. It's actually like a boy's haircut, really, really short. But there's something feminine about the way you look, but there's also something masculine. But I'm telling, it's like a divine thing, divine feminine and masculine. I'm just sort of like in awe, so I didn't expect this, so I'm just taking it in here. As a mother figure, I welcome this child to come towards me. The child it feels like a boy more now than a girl, or boy girl both. Feels more like a boy essence. Comes to, like, I feel like I have a pregnant belly, and the boy is just holding me and calling me mother. I kiss the boy's head, like I curl down to kiss the boy's head, and I say, I love you with all my heart. You are precious to me. You are a part of me. You're a part of my soul. You are part of my dream. And I love you with all my heart. Now the mother bends down so she can look at him eye to eye as she deeply wants him to know about love, about how precious and how valuable love is, about what love looks like, about what nurturing mother is, what nurturing parents look like, what nurturing family experience looks like, what nurturing sibling experience looks like, what nurturing life experience looks like. It's so important that you could even speak to this boy with your eyes without saying anything, and he receives information downloads from your soul into his soul, and he has higher clarity about what love is all about because of you. It's really powerful. He's right now receiving a deep message from your eyes into his eyes. It's like making me feel a little dizzy. It's very powerful. Very dizzying, still very powerful. Feel like the message is complete and the mother stands up. Again, the echoes about how beautiful you are, how much you mean to me. You're the most, beautiful. I see like a beautiful place with a waterfall, and it just is captivating. You're everything that is beautiful about nature. You remind me of, everything I love about the earth and about water and about the rocks and the sky and the birds. And there's something about this just continues to flow these really beautiful messages to you, asking you to please hear them this time. Not just hear them, but actually receive them inside yourself. And they're always directed directly into your divine feminine space, because that is what erupts the divine goddess awakening, the feminine goddess awakening, and the kundalini awakening. And it's really centered in awakening you on this type of level as like a mother to the world. Not just a mother, but a mother to the world. You have some sort of spiritual essence that is very motherly, but really cares about people and how people are treated, and that message about balanced relationships and love and family. You feel a lot stronger. You feel a lot stronger. You feel like I feel heavy lead weight feet, really heavy against the ground, feeling very grounded. I feel your body is solid, like the most solid metal ever made in an infinite universe. Like you feel really freaking solid, energetically solid. You feel like you're a human being. Let's be real, we can all get hurt at times in our life, but you feel so solid. You feel like you could conquer stuff. You feel solid with everything, even sad stuff, even extreme things, even whatever, people might throw at you. You just feel like, no, not gonna work. I'm solid. Like I'm more solid than Superman. I'm freaking solid. I feel like your energy field is just becoming more and more solid. The motherly image is just turning into what is like a very solid, like hardcore, powerful, even muscular, like Superman looking essence happening. And I don't feel any connections. Like I feel like I can stretch my body. I feel like I have extreme energy access, 1,000,000,000,000 infinite miles that way, above, below, in all sacred directions. I feel infinite potential. I feel infinitely connected. I feel infinitely strong. I feel like I can do anything I put my mind to, and I feel like I am all that I put my mind to. I feel like I am all that is, all that was, all that ever will be. The solidness, though, is amazing to feel it. I feel so strong right now. I feel heavy, dense, grounded energy, and I just feel so strong right now. Solid thinking, though, solid acts, solid choices, clarity, understanding, purpose. I feel all that stuff. I'm just going to continue to let it circulate here. Feels really, really complete. But I'm just going to stay with it for another moment or two. Feel hot. Feel really warm. Wow. Just letting myself return into my own body now. I'm giving you some time, Allison, to feel yourself returning into yourself too. And so you feel acclimated with new energy. New energy is a gift that's going to be processing, not just it's done and over with now. It's actually going to your body, is processing the new energy structures. So you're going to be feeling it for definitely in the next 2 to 3 weeks. You'll feel it the most in the next 2 to 3 weeks, but you'll feel like adjusted to it. So this energy work is for life, is forever. And your adjustment, it will happen like 2 to 3 weeks from now. You'll feel, I feel like so freaking, I feel like, whoa, man, totally all over the place. How do you feel right now?
Cold.
You feel cold?
I feel cold, but a good cold, an energy cold.
Yeah.
So like when I connect with people, just in general, I'm very empathetic, but when somebody is telling me something really important to them, I have that same feeling.
Yeah.
It's, but to me, physically, it feels cold.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now that you say that, I've had energy work done before, and they usually like put blanket upon blanket on you because when you get
Yeah.
energy work done, your body can get very cold. I didn't even
Hmm.
think about that.
Yeah,
But yeah,
definitely. I can. Um, yeah. Wow. Thank you.
you're welcome. So, like, do you have any resonance, like any thoughts or
Um, Let me think. Hold on.
you're
Yeah,
probably
there's a
feeling
lot.
a little bit too, but
Yeah,
take
no,
some time to
that's
react.
incredible. Um, it's interesting because I am a mother. I'm a mother. I have biologically one of my own. I met my partner. He had one, so he came, and we've adopted two other children. And
So amazing.
children are my thing. I work in the school district. Yeah, that's I am a mother, and so for that to be there makes a lot of sense. Makes all the sense.
Right. It's really, you have a really powerful presence as a mother figure. Like even a spiritual mother, like very motherly, nurturing essence that radiates off of you.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
It's like when somebody says something to you and you kind of go, yeah, sure, but yes, true. It's true. It is true.
Yeah.
It's learning to accept those, like you say, all these wonderful things. You're beautiful, you're whatever, and
Mhm.
whatnot. I need to accept those, not just hear them, to
Receive them.
receive them. There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel great. I needed that.
Yeah. You're ready for that.
It
This
was
is
so
what
good.
because every day that passes, you're going to feel more and more transformed. And
Mm,
you don't even know what that's going to look like until the days pass, right?
yeah.
It's going to be positive.
Yes.
But you could expect even the first, like, usually the first 3 to 5 days, people are sleepier than usual.
Hmm.
And you might even crash like really early tonight. But that's pretty normal. And so if you
Mm,
feel sleepy even 5 days later, I'm just, man, I'm still exhausted. Your body is going through hardcore transformation
right.
restructure zone. So, um, so it just, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe it. I'm very much so affected by like astrologically and planets and whatnot. When big transits happen, I'm like
Yeah.
down for the count. I'm good for nothing. It's funny.
That is, it's kind of cool that you say that because, like, when I do energy work for people, energy work makes people tired. But when the universe does energy work, like
Hmm.
Mercury retrograde and stuff like that,
Hmm.
we get tired during those
Yeah.
time because we're going through energy restructures without going to a spiritual healer. The universe is
Hmm.
doing it to us. So,
Hmm.
like,
Yeah, I'm really susceptible to them.
I could feel off on
Deeply.
moons and new moons. So, and
Hmm.
like huge astrological shifts, I feel those too.
Yeah, I do very deeply. I think, what is it? Mercury retrograde is supposed to be done on the 15th, I think, and it's a new moon. So I'm like, got that date circled on the
Yeah,
calendar.
yeah.
Done.
Yes, exactly. Get past that and start to see what is the reaping of the reward of that,
Yeah.
because there
Yeah,
always
I'm
is
so
reward on the
excited.
other end of that.
I agree. Yeah, I'm excited to kind of purge. I need to purge physically and energetically and emotionally and everything.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Sure.
You're awesome.
No, you're awesome. It's kind of funny. I stumbled upon you through the YouTube told me to watch you, and it was one of your videos. It was like one of your first ones. You were sitting under a tree, and you're like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm here, and here it is. I'm doing, and it's so funny
That's
because
kind
that
of how
was,
I always am.
yeah. Well, and it was like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it was put there for me to watch, and now I've kind of been following you for the last few
Yeah,
years, and God, you're a really amazing person,
thank
and
you.
you're very unique. It's not something that's generally done, and I'm pretty well voiced in the mythological, astrological, psychic, whatever abilities, and you're so unique. It's fantastic.
Well, thank
I
you.
love it.
Thank you. I'm going to
Yeah.
receive that beautiful comment.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you.
You know, I was going to say too that I was going to email you about it, but via the Patreon, I'd love to see if you or hear your take on how you balance doing this work with being a mother
That's
and
a
just
great,
having a family,
yeah.
because that is something that, oh gosh, do I struggle with? I mean, they all kind of look at me and roll their eyes and they go, okay, yeah, mom's at it again, you know,
Yeah.
but really that's difficult to do because you're living in this physical, you know, tangible, judgmental, you know, this
Yeah.
world that you're not necessarily accepted in.
Yeah.
It's an interesting balance. I'd love to hear your take on how you handle it
Yeah.
in your life.
Well, I can tell you that the more I do energy work, the easier it gets because I'm devoted. Like my work is important, right? But my inner peace is number one. And when I have the inner peace, now my work becomes successful, and everything else in my life becomes successful. At first, though, it wasn't. I mean, I would get up at ridiculous early hours, make a YouTube video back when I first started, like September of 2015, something like that. I drink coffee, like 4 cups of coffee just through the day, and I'd have kids after I get home from work, and I was just like go and trying to get, you know, conquer what my heart was telling me to do. And I've been through so many like shifts and changes in my life. I've had really difficult moments because I've been through a lot of like difficult psychic experiences. When you have difficult psychic experiences and you're trying to enjoy like watching a movie with your kids, it's like,
no, you can't.
Right. There's nothing right about this right now. But I find that you have to trust, because your higher self knows exactly what's going on, exactly what time it is, exactly why this is happening. You're meant to be challenged. And so you have to go with the challenge, and it's to see how you're going to deal with that challenge. So you just do the best you can.
Right.
And you're really like awesome at being understanding and patient with us. And you're not always going to say the right thing. You're always going to do the right thing. And sometimes you're going to slack off for an entire month and be like, man, I'm a lazy parent. I need to get my shit together. Like it happens because but your kids are going to grow up and they're going to know that their parents did the best they could, and they're going to have kids of their own, and they're going to ask the same questions.
Yeah.
And so right now, because my life, like I don't have to work a job and do the psychic work and all that and be a mom. I just do the psychic work and be a mom. And so it's been like a blessing of a transition for me, because I have the freedom to heal in nature when I need to heal in nature. I have the freedom to rebalance, and I'm so kind of like, I'm at a level now with the psychic work that I'm more tolerant of extremes, whereas before I could be just really distraught for days because I see extreme things. But I'm really much more tolerant of it. So that helps me just disconnect and move back onto life. Because when I come back to my human body, it's like, I don't, you know, I'm done with, I did Allison's work. I'm going to go do a walk now and back to life and go play with the kids. Like,
that's excellent.
Yeah.
Good. I'm happy for you that that's happening, because I couldn't imagine. I thought about that when in a couple of your other videos you were talking about how, you've seen some really fucked up stuff, and then knowing that you were as a mother, I was sitting and pondering that, going, man, how do you go back to like cooking dinner and then like, hey, how was your day? You know what I mean?
I'm not perfect at it.
That's insane.
I don't do it perfectly. Like there were times where I was just like, I was cooking dinner, distraught, like, oh my God, I can't even get out of my head about what I just saw. Like, and you just try to ignore it as best you can and just stay positive, and usually tuck the kids into bed sooner so you can just try to get some sleep and
decompress, right?
Day. So I can't say that I've been perfect, but you just do the best that you can. But I will tell you something cool. Today this happened, and this conversation reminds me of it. But I was taking a walk on the nature trail, and I don't know why. It's all like the trees are all dead. There's nothing growing out here. It still looks like winter, although it's kind of feeling more like spring, even though it's still cold. But I don't know why, but the trees were beautiful. Like it was ridiculous. I was like, these trees are beautiful, even though there was nothing really beautiful about
it. It's amazing.
But I felt so like connected, and I told the universe, it's like, you know what? I wish everybody could feel what this feels like. And I was thinking about, there's people in this world that don't want human beings to have the freedom to have this. And it's like, but why? Like, every human being should be able to have the harmony and to be able to take a nature walk and to feel so at peace inside themselves that even dead trees can be beautiful. And to feel transformed by that. Every human being on this planet deserves to have that experience. And so for me to have that blessing in my life, it's just like, I'm so freaking grateful for it. Like, it's taken a lot of hard work to get to this point, but I want this for everybody. And that's why I want to teach people how I do what I do, because I want to create that lifestyle for you too.
Yeah.
You can go on to do what I do for a living and then have that same nature walk, or even in the middle of the dead trees, it's still freaking beautiful because you feel that beautiful inside, because you've healed so much through healing yourself and through the journeys worked with others. And because you're healing me as well as I'm healing you, you're also healing me just through the experience itself. And and so I'm raising my vibration every person that's lives I touch. So
it's the greatest gift you can give to anybody.
Yeah.
Truly. I mean, the gift to give more gifts that will karmically come back. It's fantastic. I admire you. Sincerely.
Thank you, Allison. You're awesome. I'm just gonna tell you that one more time. Receive.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Well.
All right. Anything else?
Oh
my goodness.
I feel good.
I do too. I just want to sit. It's kind of funny. I have like my partner and all my kids and the dogs and everything is behind, like, to shut the door. I'm like, I need some earbuds. Hopefully nobody can hear. I just like barreled in my room. I think I might just stay in here for a little
That's
bit.
hilarious. That is, you know what? Give your kids a big hug, because it is so hard for them to be quiet and not bother mom for even 1 hour when mom.
Oh my God. I know.
On the other side of that door.
Seriously. Oh my God. And actually, this is probably the first day ever it's ever happened. Oh my God. I'm not even kidding. I woke Michael up, and because he works overnight, I woke him up and I was like, it's your day. It's your day. I do it all the other days.
That is so
don't
cool.
Bust through this door.
Yeah. I'm glad it worked out.
That's wonderful.
Kids
Excellent.
are unpredictable, but they just are that way.
I know. All of them. All 4 of mine. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you. Sincerely, thank you. I'm sure I will. Actually, I know I'll see you again.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to see you on Patreon.
Of course. Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay,
Thank you. Have a great night.
You too.